It feels like kind of a doozy of a day on the eating front. It's kind of felt like a doozy of a week, and it may just be because of other things going on. Because I don't think I've eaten terribly, but I'm not eating as well as I want to. Um, and I think part of it is because I have this meal plan, and so I'm kind of comparing my eating to the meal plan, and I'm definitely not eating according to the meal plan. Um, so, first of all, I think it's very important to have grace for yourself when you have these days, because you're going to have these days. Part of it is because I am focusing on other things than eating, so I'm trying to actually get stuff done. And I am not like 95% preoccupied with food. Um, so that's part of it. That's a big part of it. Sorry, part of it is just, I think that I'm tired and, life happens, right? So anyhow, but this is where, building good systems can really help you out, because on days or weeks like this, when my motivation low light is chronically on and I am really struggling to eat well and to feed the kids well, because we have wonderful, like, I make good food. I made beans and rice in the crock pot yesterday. We have a whole pot of them. Do my kids want to eat them? No. I tried to make it tacos and they were like, not interested. So, I think that's part of my like, I just don't even know what to eat right now, because like I'm trying and it's not working and I can just only take so much of it. So that's one. Two, I'm trying, the kids are not eating what I make them, and so now I'm eating all of that because, you can freeze some, but I'm also just trying to work through leftovers. So kind of sticking to your own eating goals can be so hard in those, circumstances and when you hit those seasons. So number one, have grace for yourself that it's going to happen. Number two, have good systems in place. So for me tonight, my junking out looks like I am eating Triscuits for dinner. If I had Doritos in the house, I'd probably eat an entire bag of Doritos tonight. It's that kind of a night. I do have some chocolate in the house, and I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 pieces around lunchtime, which, is still a pretty good day for me, because there have been days that I'll eat 10. But even there, the quality of things you have in the house can help too. So, um, I don't have Doritos in the house, so I can't junk out on Doritos. I guess I could go to the grocery store, but that's really, really hard. So my junking out looks like Triscuits instead of, Doritos. So still not that bad, again, because I have limited myself to buying things that are a higher quality. So there's that. So junking out also looks like a failed salad. But again, like, at least I tried. So it's an edamame fettuccine, and then there's obviously spinach there and mascarpone cheese, which I do actually like this. The salad. It's you put pasta with the spinach and the mascarpone. You add a little lemon. It's actually pretty good, and it's a pretty light meal for when you want something really light. And I just don't know why it's not working for me today, but it's not. Also junking out, for the kids tonight, when I asked what they wanted for dinner, they were like, we want tortellini. I'm like, you just had tortellini for the last like 3 meals. So we did hummus with vegetables. So once again, like, yay, we had hummus in the house, which is, we don't always. So I guess all I'm trying to get at here is, as you get your system up and running, you are still going to have bad days. You are still going to have days that you feel junky, that you feel like you're not eating well. However, comparatively speaking, when you compare it to the where I want to be, you're falling short. When you compare it to the where I used to be, you're probably still doing really well if you've made some progress. When you've made some progress, that will be true. So don't get down on yourself. Have grace for yourself. Have some systems in place to help yourself for these days and seasons and times, and call a friend for help if you have one around that helps cook. If you know somebody else that is kind of into the same cooking idea as you. Be like, hey, do you have any ideas for dinner tonight? Or, do you have enough to share tonight? Because you know what? 9 times out of 10, I make enough dinner to share. There are a few dishes that you don't make enough to share, but for the most part, when you're making these meals, there's plenty. Or I have some in the freezer. So if you were to call me and say, hey, I need a meal tonight because I am just like headed down junk food road and I got nothing in me, I could probably pull 3 or 4 things out of the freezer to offer to you. Right now, I can tell you, right now I've got hot and sour soup, I've got black bean soup, I've got white bean and kale soup, I've got some ham, if you had to just do like a ham sandwich or a ham and applesauce. I think I have a couple other things in there too. That might be it for like pre-made stuff. So anyhow, all ideas. And that's one of the reasons I try to keep that stuff in the freezer, is because then for days like today, if I think of it, and that's the other hard part, I can be like, oh, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything. Let me pull the soup out of the freezer and we'll just throw it in the microwave and we're going to call that good. So like I said, one of the challenges for me tonight is actually that the girls just are not interested in eating what I'm trying to offer. And I have so many leftovers. So it's not really a question of having food prepared. It's more a question of what food will they actually eat. Okay. Hopefully that's everything I needed to capture. Right. So the other thing I wanted to just mention was trying to identify why. Why am I not feeling like eating? Why am I struggling here? Why am I still hungry? Why am I still wanting more Triscuits? I think for me, I didn't get enough protein today. So that was my next step. After I was, continuing to reach for Triscuits, and I'm reaching and reaching and reaching, and I made myself a cup of tea. And then I grabbed some leftover stir fry from the fridge because I think my body is needing protein. I haven't done a great job on protein today. And then I think I'm getting too much saturated fat. And so I'm trying to cut back a little bit on like the cheese and some of the dairy stuff because I eat a lot of that. And so that's another reason why I think I reached for I did beans for dinner last night and then reached for the stir fry today because it's like I don't want to keep eating more dairy.